of us, okay, Nikita and Bruce and I. So I'm going to just do a quick introduction of myself. In theory, it's going to be 2 minutes. If you like that, I timed it. So that you know who I am. So I am Amy Cornish. I'm a French instructor here, and I actually grew up in Colorado Springs. I lived everywhere. I went to school at CU Boulder, comparative religions and fine arts, and CSU for art history and fine arts. A couple of years ago, I became involved in Global Village here at PPCC. And what we do is, in real life, we meet once a week on each campus. We have a weekly agenda, and we discuss this agenda with our student ambassadors. Students, someone might need to mute, and our student ambassadors from different countries and different cultures would be at the table and lead the discussion with any of our local students that would join us. Asaila, you can kind of see her picture up there. She's one of our big time ambassadors that helps everybody. So what we would do every week is just put an agenda out, whether it's food or not usually quite politics, but different lifestyles, and talk about it. And it's really good for the students to learn about other cultures and worlds. So that's kind of what we're doing now, is just how to build the community. Because we can't quite have those tables again, we're still trying to find ways to make a community at the college. So I think that's probably enough about me. Who would like to go? I don't see Cedra. There you are. Who would like to go next, Bruce or?
Thank you. I just came from another class. I've had 3 classes today. I'm kind of burnt, fried, but you know what? I looked forward to this community. and this is kind of part of my life anyway, I'm known as the prof that's never in his office. I teach philosophy at Pikes Peak Community College. I've been here about 15 years and teach Intro to Philosophy, Ethics. I also teach another class called the New Testament and Other Early Christian Writings, Philosophy 142. But, you know, some of the best learning, though, that occurs is after class. I love to create communities of students after class that would hang out and continue the discussions that we start in class. I love the Socratic method. I love doing discussion-based learning, flipping the classroom. And so it naturally lends an opportunity to start these great discussions in class that we could never complete because I'd never get through the material. So I always have to end it and say, we will continue that after class. And so that's why I'm hardly ever in my office, because the students, if given an opportunity, they will continue the discussions about the course material, but particularly how it relates to their life, to their real life and learning. So that's where I love to provide those opportunities after class. And that's just one example of community and how I love to help foster it. And we're going to talk about various examples today as far as community, but for me, this has very deep seated things in my life, because one of the questions that we're going to ask you today is, can you think of a time when a fellow student, and some of you, your faculty, your old fogies, but think back to when you were a student, can you think of a time when a student reached out to you and invited you to be a part of a community somewhere, something that was beyond the usual thing that you get in the classroom? And did it have any import or impact in your life? And for me, I couldn't believe it when I did that little reflective exercise. It has tremendously impacted my life, going clear back to when I was an undergrad at Penn State University. Also, when I was, I'm now co-host of the meeting. Okay. Also to when I was I was the team chaplain at one time of the Boise State Broncos football team at Boise State. And there was a student that came up to our table and said, we want to challenge you guys to a debate on campus on morality and the existence of God. You know, we already got our atheist, now we're looking for a theist. We overhear your God talk over here all the time. This is a table in the Union Building. Any takers? And I raised my hand, and my life has not been the same since. Might be a reason why I teach philosophy to this day, is because a student that was part of the philosophy club challenged our table to a debate. And by the way, that debate ended up being one of the largest attended events at Boise State University, and was on the 6 o'clock news and all that. It was just an amazing thing, but it led to me doing what I'm doing today. And it wasn't, but I didn't come here even to teach when I first moved to Colorado Springs. And it wasn't until I was a part of a community, I was invited to meet this dean of the philosophy department. His name was Richard Trussell. And I didn't even know Pikes Peak Community College even existed. So I was just invited into community to meet somebody else who had an interest in working and helping people of faith, leaders of faith here in the community, to build bridges rather than walls, but to build bridges to their fellow diverse communities. And it was through that, struck up a friendship with Richard, eventually began to teach a class. I'm a full-time instructor here. Okay, that's a long intro, but that's an example of communities and the power that they could have in our lives. All right, go ahead.
So I'm Nikidra. I am a Cozy Scholars Coach here at PPCC. Before then, this position, I was the grant coordinator of the Office of Violence Against Women here at PPCC, working with the counselor's office. Before I came to PPCC, I was at UCCS, and I still instruct classes over there. And before that, I was in the military, in the Air Force, and I just have a passion for helping, a passion for students, a passion for people, and for helping out, and just for ministry and students, and for community just all around. And when they asked for, sent the email about the Global Village and the Roundtable, and I looked at it and I saw community and I saw the names, and I saw Bruce's name and I saw Amy's name, and I was like, wow, I get to work with Bruce and Amy, sure. And I didn't even see all the and Bruce and Amy, and I was like, yeah, that's going to be cool. And I was just typing the email, sure, yes. And I was like, wait, what are we doing again? And I was like, oh, it's Global Village. A couple of semesters before that, I got to work with them in Global Village at a couple of the other campuses that we have. And it was pretty awesome. And I'm telling you, it was a great time. It was in person. And I got and had a firsthand experience to see the community involvement and the diversity at each one of the different campuses that PPC has to offer. I got to see the different backgrounds and the different cultures I got to meet people from different places. I think someone like from Turkey. I got to see Asela again from one of the events, and just got to meet students from different places, from out of the different countries, to come around, got to hear different opinions, and it was a great event. And so I jumped on board, and it has been fantastic. And to work with Bruce as well as Amy again, and to just team up with the collaboration and to be back with them is just awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys enjoy everything. And I'm looking even more forward to just hearing what you guys have to say, and the feedback and the perspectives from the students' point of view.
So I am from Mexico, and I started the classes in the college from the ESL level, and now I'm taking classes in the college level. So Global Village for me was the opportunity to defeat my phobia to speak in English, and I also make many connections with different students and with different professors and the staff, and now I'm working as a student ambassador too.